Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing another Army Men review, and this, I swear, is going to be the actual last time I'm doing any more Army Men videos, because as it is, I don't have any more space to collect any more soldiers whatsoever. And I got a bunch of more things going on that will happen very soon, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this over with. So let's move on to the unboxing. Also stay tuned for announcements later on in the video. Okay guys, so we have now reached to the unboxing, and we're going to use my trusty knife that I've been using for a while. And the blade is getting sticky, but it's still sharp, so let's cut open. I'm sorry for the noise, guys. That was my brother letting me know that our dog is hanging over here has come to say hi. Hi, Halo. What are you doing, little girl? Come here. Come here. You shake your puppy. Sorry, guys. Dog is cute, but hey, might as well have a dog in the morning. Come say hi. Oh. Huh. Got a Christmas card from the people who sent me this. That's very sweet of them, and I hope when they see this video that I appreciate it. Now, packaging, that's very excellent. So we have here a bunch of Cowboys, Indians, and Army Men, along with some trees and stuff. I want to go break this down, so let's go ahead and move on to the setup and see what's inside this bag, because I'm kind of a little bit excited to see what's inside here. So here we have some Cowboys, and as you can see, the poses basically are somewhat similar, but except for these. I've seen bigger versions of these type of poses, so this is the first time I got like a 1/32 scale pose like this, where the cowboy has two pistols and he's facing both ways and firing in two places at the same time. We have a few cavalry riders here, one armed with a pistol, one probably grabbing a lasso or something, but the peg on him broke. I was trying to put him on a horse, but the thing was already broken, so I was like, dang it. This one still has one, but I tried getting him on a horse, but he tipped over and fell. Quality on these, excellent. Excellent, but wish that I didn't break this guy's leg, and I wish the horses could stand. Now, this is a Cowboy 2 pose that I have never seen, where he's kneeling and holding his pistol out shooting. So basically he's kind of like, he was like kind of like walking up, and then he kneels and then he shoots at random. He can also be taking cover behind something and shooting, so that's pretty unique and cool. Now we're moving on to the Native Americans. Okay guys, so here we have the Indians / Native Americans, and they are basically having the same poses, except the cool unique ones are the ones on the horseback, a crawling warrior with a tomahawk in his hand ready to ambush and kill his enemy. We have a few tribesmen dancing here as well. We have a few that are in battle position, owning rifles and stuff. Another new position we had is a Native American warrior grabbing an arrow from his sack from behind and about to take a shot at his enemies and or hunting, which is really cool. Now we're going to move on to the next couple of armies, which are the blue and green, and then we'll do battle accessories and everything else. So let's move on to that. Okay, so here we have the blue army, and as you can see, they're basically similar to the other army that I had, but I have a population of 44 here, so that is good news because my Benegalian colony in the Ironman world is upgrading its population, which means the Bulgarians are recruiting more mercenary colonial soldiers, which is awesome. So this is great. I like there's nothing really much to talk about because they're basically the same thing as the other army, but we are going to go ahead and move on to the green army. So let's go. So we have the greens here, but usually I would have like an here. Hold on, I don't know if my camera can focus. There we go. So this is the greens. I know that technically I had like usually would get a huge army of greens, but this is the only set I got that has a small amount, and technically this is not really an army. This is more like a group or a squad. So we have a commanding officer here with his hand in the air, probably ordering soldiers to move forward or move, or he is raising his fist in excitement for victory. Here we have a general with his hands behind his back, like he's giving a speech, or he is talking to his officials and other commanding officers about anything really, discussing plans, or he could be like pacing in his office back and forth, waiting anxiously for good news on the battlefront, which is cool. Then we have a a green soldier here with a green officer with a pistol drawn, so he's either in combat or he is on a patrol mission, which is pretty cool. Now, as for this soldier, he would be a rifleman, but his rifle is completely gone and his body's broken. Now, I would technically use him, but if he had his rifle, I would still use him. But since he's just a soldier that had lost his rifle and lost his arm, he's basically considered to me as deceased, because in real life, if you have your arm, there's arteries in your arm, and if you bleed out, you could die. So he's basically a dead soldier who had been killed by a grenade or had been blown up in battle. And even if he did survive, he won't be reinstated into the army. So he's probably going to be like a veteran or something. But regardless, this is the greens. And now let's move on to the accessories. Okay, so here we have the accessories. So I had some wooden fences, which, as you can see, some of them are broken, but they're still usable because I can use them as damaged fence lines for my battles, and it says they still stand. They'll be useful. But as for these, though, these can't stand, and I'm just going to be using them as damaged fences in my battlefield scenario. So this is good. We have a little pine tree here. We have some horses that I can use for my soldiers and everything, so that's going to be awesome. But that's basically pretty much it on battle accessories. And as you can see, the AA tanks from the previous video I had are still on the table. They're going to go to my Greatonian army. I just haven't picked them up yet. But let's not worry about that. Let's focus on this. So basically, we have some horses of different colors, a green tree, and a few fences that I can use for my battles. Now we can move on to the announcements and closing of this video. Actually, I technically forgot a couple things that were supposed to go with the accessories, and technically we have this TP here, and this is the first time I ever owned like a toy TP, which the details on it are amazing, makes it look a little bit realistic. And this would be great for if I were to do a Native American camp scene or Indian camp scene. This would be perfect. Now, I'm sorry that I am saying the word Indian multiple times. I mean, there are Native Americans. They were the first actual Americans that lived here before all of us came from different countries and did what we did and hurt them. I'm not here to offend anybody by saying that. I apologize, but um, these are Native Americans. I'm trying to refer them as Native Americans, and that's completely my fault. I am deeply sorry, but their culture, their mythology, everything about them is amazing, and without their history, we wouldn't know about them. So let's keep us in mind. We also have a canoe or a boat here for the tribesmen to use to fish and or travel on the river, which is great. So, yeah, now we can move on to announcements and the closing of this video. And once again, I deeply apologize for those of you who are or have Native American blood or ancestry in your family. I deeply apologize. Did not mean to offend anybody. I'm sorry.